How are you? Welcome to week 2. Hello. Can you believe how fast week 1 went? I know, these 5-week classes go like that. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the special occasion speech. What's the point? What are we doing? And also about how to work with your partner. So let's get started. So number 1, I have emailed everyone your partner. So now you have a way to connect. And I did it through the Canvas inbox feature. So whatever email you have attached to Canvas, that's the email it went to. So from this point forward, when you're working with your partners, I would like you to work face-to-face. So either Skype, FaceTime, at the very least talk on the phone as opposed to just text or email, at least for the first couple of times that you meet together. Because I want you to get to know each other, and I want you to get some good information from each other so that you can write your narrative speech. So let me start here with the speeches. Every speech tells a story. Every speech tells a story. And people love stories. People do not love speeches. They don't love speeches. They don't love presentations. It's too dry. It's too people talking at you. You want to feel like someone's talking with you and they understand your perspective and also offering you another way to look at things. So I'll give you an example. Some of you may already work at a company that's very data heavy, or you will someday. Excel spreadsheets, percentages, sales numbers, charts and graphs, and that can seem very dry and uninteresting. But let's look at what those numbers actually represent. If they're sales numbers or if they're quarterly reports, they represent the health of the company that you work for, right? The health of the department you work with, your work team. And those numbers mean a lot. That can mean a raise. It can mean that you're getting a promotion and getting transferred to another part of the country or maybe to another country altogether. It can mean that your kid goes to the college they want to, you get a new car, you go on vacation. It could also mean the opposite, right? If the sales numbers aren't there, it can mean that you're getting laid off or your department's getting downsized. So those numbers are real to people like you and me who are out in the world trying to make it happen. So when you, as leaders, which you all are and which you are going to be, go into these meetings and scenarios where you have to give a speech, I want you to think, I'm not giving a speech. I'm having a conversation with people in the room, and whatever my topic is, I'm going to have it come to life like a story. I know, it's different then, right? Because we remember stories. We remember stuff that's true and remember stories because stories are descriptive. Stories have stuff that happened that made an impact on you. So think about your favorite movie, your very favorite movie. If I asked you to tell me everything about that movie, you would be able to. Okay, so if you're a lover of Disney movies and I asked you what color is Belle's dress before she falls in love with the beast, or after, you would be able to tell me what color is Dory. Okay, so you know, if you're a Fast and the Furious fan, you could tell me what kind of cars those guys were driving, and the women. All right, you have that information because it's a story. It's in your mind now. So things that are true, things that you know about, easier to write about and easier to remember. So for this speech, this very first speech, we're going to start with the research. The research before we write. And I would highly recommend that you look at it like this every time you're doing an essay or a research paper or a speech for speech class, that you start with the research because you got to get some ideas. If you just sit down and start writing something that's fake, first of all, we can tell that it's fake right away when you talk about it because you don't know it. It's a difference. And 2, it's no fun. And 3, it makes it easier to write something, to get some ideas. So in this case, you are going to be giving a toast at a graduation party for your partner. And your partner is going to be giving you the toast in celebration of your graduation. Okay, so you're going to work together. Okay, you're going to get together, FaceTime, Skype, at least by phone, and you're going to introduce yourself to each other and get to know each other. What's your major? What's your dream school? What do you like? What were you like as a kid? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite dessert? Like really get to know each other. What are some of your hobbies? What do you want to do when you graduate? Where do you want to live? Like I want you to really let your imagination run wild and really think about what you want. These speeches are a celebration. They are happy. We like the people that we're talking about. Okay, we love them. They've asked us to speak at their graduation, or we volunteered to speak at their graduation because we actually like them. And that's a great thing. So all of these speeches are super positive. Excuse me. It also gives you an idea to really consider what you want to do. Okay, so let's pretend that you and I are partners. Okay, excuse me, I'm going to cough again. Ooh, that rain needs to come back. It's too dry. So let's say that you and I are partners, and we've decided that we're brother and sister. Okay, so I'm your sister, you're my brother, and you're getting ready to graduate. Now, the next question is, do you actually have a sister, a real sister? Or do you have a female friend or a cousin that's like a sister? And I would ask myself, do I have a brother? I have 4 brothers, okay? I have 4 brothers. So let me pick one. I'll pick Hank. Okay, so I'm going to think about what I said to Hank at his graduation, how I feel about Hank, what I know about Hank, and then after I've done my research with you and learned more about you, I'm going to intertwine how I feel and what I know about Hank and what I might say to my brother with what I just learned about my new brother, my speech brother, you. All right, so I'm going to intertwine those things. So I'm going to take fact and fiction, I'm going to mix them together. Easier to remember, easier to write about if I'm writing about a real person, my brother Hank. And I'm taking what I've learned about you, your major, your dream school, what you want to do, and I've intertwined that with what I know about how I feel about Hank. Now suddenly I have a speech that's true. It's real stuff now. I'm talking about you, a real person. I've used my brother Hank as a substitute, and so that speech can really come to life. And you have a brother or a sister or a cousin or a good friend, and I want you to think what you would say about them. If you know about their family, you know about their experience, you know whatever their trials and tribulations and triumphs have been. When you graduate from college, it's a big deal. It's huge. Okay, think about how you felt when you graduated from high school. You're like, I'm out of here, right? So you can decide, are you graduating from Glendale Community College? Are you graduating from the 4-year school? Are you graduating from med school, law school, grad school? You decide. And it can be wherever you want to go. If money wasn't an option, if your grades weren't an option, if time didn't matter, where would you go? Like right now, think about where would you go. Cal State LA? Would you go to Santa Barbara? Would you go to Yale? Where would you go? You have the opportunity to decide and use that. So when your partner asks you, what's your dream school? Tell them. Tell them what your dream school is. If there was nothing holding you back, where would you go? And that is not only a great jumping off point for you guys to have a conversation, but it's a perfect way for you to create these speeches that are based in reality. And every other speech that we do is going to be modeled after this one. We're going to start with the research. We're going to write about stuff we know. We're going to understand the opposition. We're going to be able to dispel common misconceptions about our topics. And we're going to write real stuff, right? Real facts, real data. We're going to cite our sources. So in here, I want you to think about starting off with a hook. Something about your partner. Grab our attention. Tell us a little bit about them. What's their story? What were the struggles that they overcame that you feel comfortable discussing in front of a room full of people at a party? I want you to think that when you're making these speeches, we're all in a room, we're all dressed up, we look nice, we've come in to celebrate whoever's graduating, and it's a great day. It is a happy celebration, okay? And I want you to give your partner that same information, that really good stuff about what you're trying to do with your life, okay? This is a place to let your imagination run wild, okay? And the other thing, when you're structuring this is a very simple intro, body, conclusion. So these speeches aren't very long. They're very short. And I want you to think about if you had an intro and a conclusion that are about 25% of your speech and your body is about 50%. So in all of the speeches we do, you've got 25, 50, 25, okay? Introduction and conclusion 25% of the time, and the body is 50% of the time. And that'll give you a little bit of idea of how to structure and strategize those sections of your speech. So this speech is 2 to 3 minutes, so I want you to shoot for that middle ground, 2.5. That gives you some time on either side as a cushion because I don't want you to read your speech. You can use note cards for this speech, but I want you to have practiced enough that you can stand there with your note card and based on what you created with your partner, tell us a story about their graduation and this big success that they have. See what I mean? It just even hearing it like that, I think makes it seem like, oh, this is manageable. I can do this. But of course, what's the key here? You got to practice. Even if you're using note cards, it's important to practice. Practice standing there. Practice making eye contact. When you're looking into the camera and using your audience that is sitting in the room, I want you to think that the camera in your computer or your phone or whatever you're using to record your speech is just another audience member. I want you to think that this whole class is out there watching you so that you're actually in a place that you're not just in your living room, that you've created an environment in your mind, because that'll make it feel more like a speech. You'll stand up a little straighter, you'll make a better presentation, and then you stand up and you give that great speech, okay? That's all you got to do. So be sure you get with your partner. Be sure that you get the information that you need. You must use a partner from class. So make sure that you guys connect in some way so that you can set up some FaceTime with each other. And then get those speeches knocked out. By the time you're done talking with your partner, let's say you spend 30 minutes talking to your partner. That should be plenty of time to get what you need, at least to write a rough draft. So you do that. You write your rough draft. You go back and send them an email if you have any questions. If you need some more details and specifics, and then you go back, knock it out, and then you're ready to record it, and then there you go. That's it. The assignment is ready to roll. Now, I want to give you a few little tips here. First of all, I want you to think about how you really feel about someone you like. So don't write a speech about someone you can't stand, okay? Can you tease someone that you love? Yes. But I want you to tease them out of love, okay? This isn't a Comedy Central roast of Charlie Sheen. You know what I'm saying? I want you to tease them out of love. And we all know what that feels like, right? We know what it feels like when someone's teasing us because they like us or they're teasing us because they want to shank us in the parking lot, okay? I mean, don't be mean. These are not mean girl speeches. These are speeches about someone we really like. I want you to think about a quote. There's a requirement for that in the rubric that you'll see. And you want to say who said it, right? So if you're going to quote their favorite movie or their favorite book or whatever, then make sure you say in the movie Beauty and the Beast, Belle says blah, blah, blah. Just be sure that you're telling us where you got it, because we always want to cite our source. For the works cited, you don't have to have an entire page for that. You just have to put it at the end of your speech so I can see. Formatted in MLA. So really go through the guidelines and really go through the rubric. And then if you have questions, just go to the virtual office and ask them there. And of course, I always encourage people to come to office hours because we can do that virtually. We can literally talk to one another. And then that way, from a distance, virtually. And then that way, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer it as you put them together. Okay? So have some fun with this. Live a little. Get creative. Write some truth into these speeches so that they're easy to remember. Specifics and details will help you too. So if I said, listen, my brother was great at helping me with my homework, it's vague. But if I said, you know what, my brother was really great at helping me with my math homework. I really wanted to take advanced math because all my friends were taking calculus before first period. And I really wanted to take it, but I didn't understand it. And you know what? He made it so easy for me to understand. And I really appreciate that because it's really served me in the long run. You see what I mean? I got specific. If I said, oh, we were always getting in trouble and egging each other on, by doing what? I mean, don't tell us something illegal you did, but tell us something that you did. You snuck out, borrowed the car, got pulled over, lied about your age. I don't know what you did. Brothers and sisters do all kinds of things when they're getting in trouble. So what did you actually do? Were you naughty? Were you the bad kid and that was the good kid? I don't mean mad like just that you were naughty, right? Did you have fun? Was your brother hilarious but would go to the bat for you no matter what? Like you remember that one time? And then tell us about that one time. Stories like that within your story, easier to remember. And they're more fun to talk about. So have some fun, live a little, get with your partner, knock these speeches out, get them on time. You have to post everything on time. Like just let that burn. You can do it. Your other speeches are great. I'm starting to grade them and they're amazing. So go for it. All right. Have a great week. Ask me what you need to ask me and I'll see you online. Okay, everybody. All right. Bye.